Due to the fact that YouTube has demonetized most of the videos that we make here, it is important to support us on Patreon. The link for our Patreon is in the description box down below towards the top. Plus, you get tons of bonus content over there that you don't get here on YouTube as well. Thank you guys so much for supporting us on Patreon. You guys are the reasons that we keep making these videos. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Corrupted Corner. This is kind of scary. No one's talking about this, really. I mean, I don't think they are. I think everybody's talking about sports.
This is Corrupted. This is Corrupted.
Okay, well, I didn't expect that to play, but okay. I hit that button like 15 minutes ago, I feel like, and it didn't play, and then it just played. But no, everybody's talking about, you know, Philadelphia Eagles, New England Patriots, but nobody's talking about this IED attack, which, I mean, why would you want, with all the football going on, why the hell would you want to talk about an IED attack? But still, it still happened. So let's look at this. Here's what they note. There was an IED attack in Florida. A bomb detonated at a shopping mall. At least 5 more devices were found. There are no injuries. There is a large manhunt underway. Now, this was 9 hours ago. This is like 10 hours ago, really. So this is overnight. You know, I'm still looking at all these different little outlets that sometimes report on news, and nothing really that I see is that updated at this point. But the other thing that happened the other day was there was 3 people shot in Midtown Manhattan. The victims were not identified. They were shot on 31st Street between 5th and 6th Avenue in Manhattan on Saturday, that's really bizarre. But I just feel like, I mean, I didn't hear about the news. Maybe if you guys watch the news, I guess tonight or at some point. Sunday's always a bad day for news, I guess, right? Because they have the fewest amount of people covering it at this time. And on top of that, you know, with all the football going on, like, everyone's just distracted with that stuff and wants to talk about football, which we can talk about later. I do find it interesting that that our video previous to this, now we are no longer able to stream live for 3 months because we have a strike by YouTube themselves for a silly Tide music video that I made to be funny, you know, about eating Tide Pods, you know, and it's a music video, you know, which is ridiculous. It's obviously sarcastic and satire, that type of thing about Tide Pods. But meanwhile, I'm looking on YouTube, and there's still people that eating the things. The videos are still up. You know, Jimmy Fallon or whatever, CBS, all kinds of different videos from actual TV shows that they did. They actually showed video of people eating them. Those videos are up on YouTube. But my music video was deemed against YouTube's community guidelines. How in the world could that be against YouTube's community guidelines if all these other things are still up? And I keep emailing them about it, and they won't answer me back about it. They just keep giving me generic dumbass answers, which is typical of YouTube. This whole site has become just a joke for anybody that's under, you know, under 100,000 K. You're in trouble probably. Forget about it if you're under like 50K or under 20K or something, because I do know for a fact that there's different levels, and depending on the level of your channel, we don't know it. They haven't really told us yet, but there is a absolute there's like a system of grading, so that like built in, like if you have like 200 subs and you make a fucked up video, they will just delete your channel. Like, it will just be deleted, like, pretty quickly. There won't even be a question. Because I made new channels in the past that had like 500 subs, and they were I had one deleted for almost no reason. I barely did anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong, actually. It was just a vulgar video where I swore a lot, and we talked about some sort of things that were popular in the news. And that video was taken down, and then they took the channel down and said the channel was a spam channel, which is not true. But what the thing was, it's because it had so little amount of subs and stuff, I think they just, like, their algorithm knows you get more leeway. And I think on my main channel, I get a lot more leeway too, because if something happens usually on my main channel, they fix it pretty much all the time. Ever since I've had about 20,000 to 30,000 subs, I've noticed that I get everything pretty much taken care of a lot better. And I've heard from other people that theirs is no issue, and then I've heard from other people that they have, you know, that it really has to be messed up to get screwed over. But you know, you still see the 5,000 sub channels go down and 3,000 sub channels sometimes go down. But I think once you hit 1,000, they take you a little more seriously. And I think once you hit 10,000, it's even more. You know, because I used to always lose the fights that I would put up for the strikes back in the day before 10,000 subs. I would lose all the time. And it seems like ever since I crossed 20,000 subs that I win every time. I even had a video that I'm pretty sure was in the wrong, but I fought it anyway, and they gave it back to me. They put the video back up. In fact, after that I took it down. Which you don't delete a video. If somebody does something in the YouTube, there's a question about a video, you don't delete it because YouTube will review it. But if you delete it, they can't review it then, or they won't review it. So then you screw yourself. You're done for 3 months, which apparently has happened to our friend Tommy NC 2010. Apparently James Worley told him to go ahead and delete the video, and Tommy listened to him. And I was like, why the hell is Tommy listening to this guy? You know, why would you listen to a guy who's homeless and doesn't really have a YouTube channel? Why wouldn't you come ask Joe Cronin? In fact, recently I've told you this. I said, do not delete videos. But stupidly, it happens. But anyway, so that's the stuff that's going on. Kind of freaky with the IED stuff in Florida. Like, what the hell, man? What? The whole goddamn world's gone mad. And we never have gotten news like this, information like we do now. It just comes in so quick, so it's so easy to get a hold of everything. In an upcoming video, I'm going to be talking about a little bit more about Star Wars. I'm also going to probably talk a little bit about Star Trek Discovery. That came out tonight, and last week's I didn't talk about, so we'll probably talk about where we are now with everything. CNN reporting or saying, who knows what CNN believes nowadays, the top House Republicans are considering publicly releasing some of the underlying intelligence behind a memo that alleges the FBI abuses the surveillance laws. Well, don't we know this? I mean, don't we know that they do this? And hasn't it become legal for them to do it? Like, don't we understand now that it's pretty much legal for the government to spy on any of us and do whatever they want? It's slowly over time we've been signing away our liberty and rights, if we really had them anyway, but now they're just officially gone with the Patriot Act and, you know, with the recent internet privacy that went away 2 years ago, I think it was, or whatever. The Google can just file all our information away. You know, you got the Amazon devices in your house listening to everything you say and translating everything you're saying. You know, back in the day, it used to sound like a goofy kind of like overreaction, like, oh, you know, everything's listening to us and I want to go off the grid and stuff like that. And I always thought people like that were silly. I used to think that way. I used to think like, you know, you're stupid. If you didn't do anything wrong, you got nothing to worry about. But that's fine if everybody's an honest person. But the world isn't honest, right? So the world is not honest. And if somebody wants to paint you a certain way, they can do it now. If somebody wants to paint you a certain way, they can do it. If somebody wants to put you in a certain light, they can do it, and they can twist your words. They can take your words out of context. They can stalk you until you do something wrong. They can follow a particular pattern to build a case against you. Otherwise, you would have been safe just browsing around on your internet. But you know, now they can sort of check out your browsing history, figure out what's going on. And I talked about this before, that it's sort of like a pattern, like, you know, we're not going to get to the point yet where we can put nanotechnology in people's brains and then figure out like, oh, this is a type of person that could go crazy, or this is a type of person that could blow people up, or this is a type of person that could kill somebody, or this is a type of person, whatever. But what you could do is you could start formulating data and studying data like aggressively, right? Because we're all online now, pretty much almost everybody, unless somebody's completely off the grid. Right? So you're like 10 years old and you're on the internet, and they can like figure out who's on the internet and when you're on your social media pages once you get one, and just start building a form of you, building a profile of you, which is, you know, not to like to get you or anything, but to maybe future get you. Like, so, and you start searching stuff. Say you start searching, like, you're like 14 years old, and I never did any of this, I don't think. So I don't think that I would ever I would not be in trouble. But let's say there's a borderline person, right? A person that's a little fucked up, but maybe they're never going to do anything, and they get over it when they're like 17. Let's say they start searching, like, you know, how to kill an animal with, you know, whatever, how to build a bomb, like how to do this, and they're searching all these things and they're doing all these things, and then, you know, a few years later they change, they completely forgot they even ever looked that shit up, right? and it's starting to build that case against you, right? And it's like, hey, look at this. At age 14, he did this. At age 15, he did that. Now he's doing this. We're seeing signs. And then they can actually grab a person who did that, you know, grab multiple people, have a big study who actually have shot somebody or done anything, and they can sort of try to build a profile based on their search history and what they type into their computer and what their habits are on social media, and sort of start to sort of, not minority report because you can't exactly predict the future, but you can sort of build a, like, okay, well, we're going to spy on these people. You know, like this, we can't spy on the entire population. It's just fucking impossible. But based on all the keywords that were entered, and here's these profiles are pinging, you know, they're because they could be like 97% alert, you know, on somebody based on keywords like kill and murder, rape, and how to build and bomb, and like all these different things, and like all these bizarre search keyword history. And they could build you know, easily, and the system would just do it for them, right? Like the guy would come in 99% match red, you know, like this is a guy that absolutely you would think is going to commit a crime. And they could just take the 5% of that, like the top 5% of those people, and just fucking shadow them. You know what I mean? And chances are the cops would probably be able to arrest about half of those people, right? Because maybe they would be bad. Is that ethical? Is that not ethical? That's fucking crazy stuff right there. And I bring this topic up to end the show here right now because that is what I want to talk to, I think, a couple people about soon, maybe Justin and Ken and a couple other of my friends. We're also going to be bringing in some new guests and new hosts on this show. I'm going to be bringing in people here to talk with me that you guys have never heard before. So I think that's going to make things way more interesting as well. So we're going to be bringing that in. I'm going to have a sort of a new name for this right now. I'm calling this Corrupted Corner. You know, I really don't know exactly what I'm going to call this. I like Corrupted Corner, I think. And I'll have these little news videos like this. Now, normally, I also talk similar to this on my Patreon when I do Morning Madness. It's kind of a similar format in a way, although I think Morning Madness sometimes gets more personal, where I'm not really getting personal with me. I'm getting, you know, we're sort of talking about these stories. So I need to separate the two, and that's what I will do. And you'll get bonus stuff. Right now, I'm uploading this on Patreon and on the Corrupted channel to see what you guys think about this type of format. I like this. A couple news stories, my opinion, and then a follow-up where we do a podcast, like 20 to 30 minutes, talking about all these situations. And I'll have guests on and stuff like that. So that's where I'm going with that. So, guys, I like that. I think maybe you guys do too. I don't know. I'll have more videos coming today. I'm sort of just testing the format out, but I enjoy it. Thank you guys for supporting us on Patreon like you do. Again, the link for Patreon is down below if you want to support the Patreon. We appreciate that. Obviously, YouTube's censoring almost every damn thing I do. They don't like this. They definitely don't like alternative opinions like mine and maybe probably yours. But, hey. We'll see you guys later. Hit that subscribe button down below if you don't want to miss out on our daily videos just like this. If you're new to the channel, make sure you sub, hit that like button, hit the dislike, whatever you want. Share this video with your family, friends, on Facebook, wherever. And enjoy Corrupted Corner here on Corrupted Entertainment. And if you want to hear the 2-hour comedy podcast every Saturday, that is available if you are a patron. That is a 2-hour live broadcast, and you get the audio download as well for that if you're a $2 a month Patreon or patron. So it's not for the weak at heart, though. It is a mature show. Like, you may be offended by it, to be honest. But maybe you're not offended by this type of format. We'll see you later. Check out these other videos from Corrupted.